lot of buzz going on because Elly De La Cruz has 26 stolen bases. And it brings the topic: how many stolen bases will he have at the end of the season? He's on pace to get 100 stolen bases. Omar, what is your plus minus of 100 stolen bases?
Here we go again with the plus minuses. Eh?
I've heard this through Twitter and around baseball.
Oh, breaking news.
What
We
happened?
have breaking news.
Let's rekindle that 90s rivalry between the Jays and the Braves.
I think the biggest question that I have, like, why did they call him up? It's not like they were struggling.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Saturday Sliders. Today is Sunday, May 12th. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. To my girlfriend, who is a dog's mom, my girlfriend's mom, my mom, to Armando's wife, and to his moms. Happy Mother's Day to all of you. We love you. I'm Almar, and I have Armando, like I said, next to me. And let's talk baseball.
Welcome, everybody. You can watch us on YouTube or listen to us on Spotify. Please subscribe, like, and follow. It will help our channels grow. And happy Mother's Day to my wife, Brianna. Let's go around the bases with this week's latest news. Omar, let's start with Paul Sneeze making his anticipated debut. This is top prospects, number one pitching prospects in the majors. He's a Louisville LSU prospect. He won the World Series just 2 years ago, and he was the best pitcher in college. And 1 year in AAA, he just dominated in a year and 1 month in AAA. He has 102 miles per hour fastball and a 9 to 5 splitter and an 85 change. He made his debut yesterday. He actually only went 4 innings and a bit, but he struck out 7 batters in 4 innings. This is the most anticipated in a long time. What is your opinion on Paul?
Yeah, Paul Skenes finally had his major league debut yesterday. Like you said, this kid has electric stuff. According to reports, he reached 100 miles per hour 17 times yesterday, and at only 21 years young, he'll be a fun player to watch over the years. But even with his great stuff, like you said, he must learn how to pull back from trying to outpower every hitter. He needed 84 pitches to record those 12 outs yesterday. But this is a kind of result you will see from a fireballer. Great to see him strike out 7 batters. I'm just reading like a report from MLB yesterday. It says that Paul Skeens is donating $100 to the Gary Sinise Foundation for every strikeout he recorded this season. So good start,
Oh
seven
wow,
strikeouts. Yeah, good
that's
start,
great.
7 strikeouts yesterday. Yes.
Yeah.
So good as advertised. Good to see him. Good to see him in the majors now.
I watched the first 3 innings. I wish he would have gone a little bit farther. I know that they like to protect young prospects only with 75 pitches. Like, but it's pretty impressive. First inning, he struck that two. Um, Obviously, I think there was some jitters going on his debut because he was actually throwing a lot of walks. I mean, a lot of balls and walking some batters. But on the second inning, he actually loaded the bases with 1 out, and it's actually pretty impressive. He was calm and collective in that situation, but he did walk 2 batters, so it's kind of like, and he struck out for the batter for the second out, and then a pop up on the final out of the inning. So, but it was pretty impressive to see him cool and collective in that situation. But I wish I would have seen a little bit more, maybe going to the sixth inning, right? So maybe he would have got you. 10 plus strikeouts.
Yeah. But I think they don't want to stretch him out on his
No.
first big league debut, right?
Well, when you compare him to Steven Strafford, he went 7 innings and 14 Ks, right, in his
Yeah.
debut. So I was kind of, and he's already getting comparison to him. So I would have wished to see him go that deep,
Yeah.
right? To just see the comparison. That's what I wanted. But it's exciting to see a prospect like him, and hopefully he has a long and healthy career.
Yep. True.
So, all right, with the next topic, there's a lot of buzz going on because Elly De La Cruz has 26 stolen bases, and it brings the topic: how many stolen bases will he have at the end of the season? He's on pace to get 100 stolen bases. Omar, what is your plus minus of 100 stolen bases?
Here we go again with the plus minuses. Eh? Ellie De La Cruz, projected to have, well, I just looked at it, projected to still have 80 stolen bases, but it might have moved.
Yeah.
I will stick to this projection and say he is under 100 stolen bases this season. I love his style of play. Every time he is batting, you anticipate a spectacular stuff from him. He is so quick on the base paths, but I do not think he'll hit the 100. He might get close. I say above that 80 projection, say 92 stolen bases, around 85, 92. That is a great year. But if he gets to 100, but
Well, I'm gonna go with
let's say
under.
92.
I need to. I'm still gonna go under. Like I think it's just a little ridiculous that people are talking about 100 stolen bases. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go. Even I'm gonna go with that under 80. We're still um during the summer when especially in Cincinnati when it's gonna be like 100 degrees and like 80% humidity. It's gonna slow him down,
Yeah,
right? Or even just like if he has a little hamstring issues, which all players do have a little tweak during the summer, right, with the humidity. So I think we're gonna see him slow down, but I think he's gonna come close to the 80 mark, but 100, like there's no way. I don't see it happening. But it's impressive. He has 2 stolen bases in each of the last 3 games. Like so, 6 stolen bases in 3 games. That is impressive.
yeah,
But it's always in the beginning of the games when he starts. Obviously, he's not attempting at the later parts of the innings, maybe because there's fatigue, right? So, but it's still impressive. Elly De La Cruz was one of my curtain calls players a couple weeks ago, so he's electric. He's fun to watch,
yeah,
but definitely it's gonna be fun to see the tracker when fans start tracking him, like when he gets past 50 or 60, right? So.
yeah.
All right, Omar. With the last topic of around the bases, you sent me this this report. I'm not sure how legit it is, but Mason Miller of the Oakland A's, closer of the Oakland A's, my curtain call player from a couple weeks ago. There's rumors that the A's are listening for trade offers. Omar, what is your opinion on this rumor?
Well, here we go again with the Oakland A's, right? Armando, we texted about this during the week and rumors of Mason Miller being traded. Right now, it's all smoke, and current reports say the A's are just listening to calls. I don't know what you make of it. This is the Oakland A's we're talking about, so hopefully it's not true. Like you said, you want fans to be in there when they move to Las Vegas, or even if they're playing next year to Sacramento, right?
Yeah, I want to say it's not true, but it is the Oakland A's, and they've been known to trade a lot of players, a lot of young prospects, like Tim Hudson, Mark Mulder, um, just to name a few, or Chapman, or right. So Tejada, like there's just
Donaldson.
Donaldson, right? So there's been a lot of players they have traded. Pena, right, on a rookie contract. So there's been, I would like to say that it's not true, but it's also it's still the Ace. They've been known for this kind of stuff, but I just think that when you have not just at this moment, he is the face of the Ace, but he is the face of one of the young faces for for the league. He's electric. He is fun to watch. He's impressive to watch. He's a young player with a lot of potential. So I just, when we're talking about moving to multiple cities in the next 3 to 4 years, you need a star player to attract people, and he's
Yeah,
attracting fans right now. I'm not sure if he has pitched 2 innings or 3 innings this week on non-safe situations, and it's impressive to see him go out there because, first of all, a lot of closers, if it's not a safe situation, they get rattled. They don't know how to. They don't. Some pitchers, closers, don't know how to pitch on a non-close situation. But he was brought in the eighth. He pitched 2 innings on a close game because he hasn't pitched in a while, and they needed him, and he struck out 4 batters in 2 innings. He's impressive, and he was, especially like 1 inning relievers. They just kind of let it all gas, let it all out. But he was not he was just throwing 100 miles per hour for 2 innings, and that's hard to do. Like, so he's fun. So I don't believe it. I choose not to believe it. But it's also, but also like the owner of the Ace, he said he wants like to see players in Sacramento like Aaron Judge, and he has mentioned big star players. So maybe there's a maybe somebody will trade another star for a young reliever. So,
yeah. It'll be a premium to get him anyway. It'll be a
oh
premium,
yes,
yeah. It'll be a premium.
it
So
will be a premium, but
yeah.
who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Who, I don't even know. I think you were just for one season. It will be a lot of prospects. I can see that
Yeah.
happening, but we'll see. So, well, that's it around the basics. Let's go with a curtain call players of the week. Omar, I'm going to start it off with my team curtain call team of the week, and I'm going arguably with the best team right now in the majors, and that is the Philadelphia Phillies. The Philadelphia Phillies are no one wants to play against them, and they're just hot. They have they have they're hitting on every cylinder right now. Pitching, defense, offense, they're just a very hot team, and they're not just fun to watch, but they're just kind of like, wow, this actually, I think people overlooked them. People just had them like, oh, they're gonna become second to the Braves all season. But at this point, arguably, they could win the division with this lineup. And right now, offensively, they're second in runs, second in batting average, second in base percentage, and third in slugging percentage. And that is impressive when you have a lot of teams just hitting home runs, um, and also pitching. When you have Harper with the 9 home runs, with 29 RBIs, and my critical player of the week last week, Alec Boom with 32 RBIs, and Trent Turner starting to heat up, batting over 300. It's a very impressive team to watch, and also the pitching staff. It's no joke. Zach Wheeler with 63 strikeouts. They have arguably the best three punch in the majors right now. Yeah, they're just impressive to watch.
Yeah, the Phillies, winners of two straight and holding top spot of NL East, currently have a two-game lead ahead of the Braves. Great call there, Armando, and this team has, like you said, the pitching and the hitting, and like I said from our previous show, when you have both, it's tough to beat a team, and that That what this Phillies team has done so far. So great call here.
Yeah, and also like obviously I didn't they faced the Giants last week and also the Blue Jays last week, and I'm not. I know that the Phillies won 2 out of 3, or
They split that two-game series, two-game
oh, it was
set.
2 game
Yeah,
series.
yeah,
Okay,
it
so
was just a two-game set.
yes, well the Giants had a 4 games series with the Phillies, and the Giants were just outclassed. They was just on overmatched by the Phillies, and some of them like I think 2 games were just like lost by 1 or 2 runs, but it didn't even look that close. When you look at the scorecard, it's like, oh, okay, 2 runs or 1 loss. But from watching the game, it's just not even close. So they are a tough team for any team right now. But yeah, that is my team of the week.
Good call there with the Phillies, Armando. And for my curtain call team of the week, I'm going with the Chicago White Sox. To the Southsiders, I apologize when I said your White Sox over and under for wins is going to be under 50 wins. I like to be proven wrong with this one. Currently on a 4 game winning streak. And like you said, Armando, when they like you said, they can catch fire, and we are seeing it right now. This this is still a major league team, and they can find a way to win games. Hats off to the White Sox, limiting limiting their opponents to 3 runs or less during this winning streak, and that is why they are my curtain call team of the week.
4 game winning streak. Good for them.
Yep, and they're beating the Guardians, eh?
Oh wow. So yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's awesome. Good for them. Yeah, like
Yeah,
I talked about, like it's kind of like when we were talking about the plus 100 losses. It's or 50 wins. I was saying they're gonna catch fire like they all do, right? So it
yeah.
might be they still might be the worst team in the majors when it's all said and done, but they're still a professional team, right? So
Yeah.
and it's still and they can any day they can compete with any team, right? You just need somebody to have their best game of the season and right and beat any team. So good job on your critical team, critical team of the week. For my pitching of the week, I am going no no surprise here. I'm going with the best team of the week. Or I'm going with Ranger Suarez from the Philadelphia Phillies. Ryan, like I said, they're just hitting on all cylinders right now, and Suarez arguably could be the best pitcher of in the majors right now. He's 7-0 with 1.5 ERA. He's second in ERA, 55 strikeouts. He's has 2 starts in May with 2-0 already with 2 starts in May. So arguably he's not even getting all the attention because when you're pitching when you're the third pitcher on the rotation and Wheeler is getting all the attention. Like he's Suarez is just quiet guy. He's just going out there and pitching, and he's pitching um, for the best team in the majors right now. So Suarez is my pitcher of the week.
Rangers Suarez. This guy is unbelievable this season. Our second time having him as our curtain call pitcher of the week. The Phillies cannot ask for more from this guy. We did see this coming before the season, and he is putting everyone on notice. Early Sayang front runner.
For
Nice
sure,
call on Ranger Armando. Nice
yeah,
call.
for sure. Early favorite right now, and he's just yeah. We didn't see this like, but he's when a whole team of stars like he's definitely just kind of like behind all that, and he can be able to just do his job right, being a third man on the rotation. We get, and so that's a tough break. So for the teams, but that's great.
Yeah. And for my curtain call pitcher of the week, I am going with Chris Sale of the Braves. Continuing with my White Sox team. I'm kidding. The former White Sox ace, now with, like I said, the Atlanta Braves, is turning back the clock this season. He is currently 5-1 with 2.95 ERA with 52 strikeouts. He is close to being unhittable this season. We have seen his devastating slider before, and after several seasons of injuries and down years, the resurgence of Chris Sale is in full mode. Last Wednesday against his former team, the Red Sox, Sale pitched six scoreless innings, allowing only six hits and striking out 10 batters.
Wow.
And that is why Chris Sale is my pitching curtain call of this week.
Love the pick, Chris Sales. That's one of my one of the reasons I picked the Braves to win the World Series just or win the division just because they were deep in the rotation and I knew that Chris Sales not being the ace or not being the pitcher what he was, but coming into a team he could just not be have the all the pressure just on him. He was able to just maybe just relax and just be a part of a team, right? Instead of carrying the whole pitching staff. I love it that he's having a bounce back. Great pick. With my position player of the week, I am going with the ageless wonder Jose Ramirez from the from Cleveland. When you look at his total stats for the young season, he doesn't popped up, but in the last week he is actually heating up. He's starting to heat up. He's hot right now. Um, he has in the last 7 games he has 8 hits, 5 runs, 4 home runs, 8 RBIs with one walk and one strikeout. He's just starting to heat up with. He has 8 hits, so Cleveland need him. He needs to get hot going, and the Cleveland need him to get home going, and he's that's what he's doing right now. So obviously he's one of those players that slow start, but then he starts catching up. So and right now he's second with and in the majors with 33 RBIs.
Jose Ramirez, I like his game. Switch hitting, who hits for power and average. One of the main reason this Guardians team is on top of the AL Central. Although by only half a game over the Twins and Royals. Like we always mention, this Central will be a neck and neck battle towards the end. But great call this week on Ramirez. He's really
Yeah,
hot this
he's
week, yep.
yeah.
All right, for my curtain call position player of this week, I wanted to be funny and get another White Sox, but I couldn't find anyone who's hot right this week. So for this week, I'm going over to the other side of Chicago. I'm going with Cody Bellinger of Chicago Cubs. Great to see Belly back after a short stint in the IL. Bellinger is currently 8 for 20 this week with 3 home runs and 5 RBIs. Hopefully, Belly stays healthy as the Cubbies need him on the field, and he is a difference maker whenever he plays, and that is why Cody Bellinger is my position player of this week.
Nice, good pick. Yeah, I'm glad that um he's back. He wasn't a long term injury, but yeah, the Cubs need him, and Cubs are actually a surprising team. They're actually competing. Um, Baseball is just better when the Cubs are better, for sure. And I'm glad that he's repeating his season from last year. It wasn't just a 1 year off, and he's actually proven that he the injury set him back, but Bellinger is back. Yeah, well, that's it for our curtain call players of the week. Let's go with our Giants and Blue Jays updates. Omar, it's been a little, it's been a hard 2.5 weeks with the Giants. Um, I think a couple weeks ago I said that like they finished 6-4 on the homestand. They they were 1 game under 500 before on the 10 game road trip, and that just a awful road trip. It's 3 games in Boston, 4 game series against the Phillies, and then a 3 game series against Colorado with no days off. It was just 10 straight games of baseball, and that could have been that was just an awful baseball to watch. And there were pitching starting rotation where they're dinged up. I'm not sure if it was just the East Coast pitching or the cold weather. They had a hard time finding the strike zone. Also, there was a lot of injuries. Players like Nick Ahmed is injured, Soler is injured. Um, so yeah, it's there's just a lot of question marks right now with the Giants, and I might say like mm, this is. I know that's still young season, but and they're not watchable right now. They're just not a watchable team right now. So there's a lot of frustration. So, but I might wonder, I might ask, maybe the Giants are not a good team. So I think that maybe the expectation were too high for them. So, but anyways, there was a close match before last week. I mentioned it. They're gonna have to score more than 3 runs. Um, to win games. They just can't hit under 3 runs, and that road trip before the Colorado series because Coors Field is different. Um, and those 7 games with Boston and Phillies, they only there was only 1 game they scored over 4 runs in those 7 games, and it was just awful to see. So even the 1 game that they won in Boston, they only scored 3 runs. And so yeah, it was, and then Colorado. It numbers can be deceiving in Colorado just because of the altitude. So I would take that with a grain of salt. But even going into them, like the expectation, you need to sweep the Rockies. They're tied for the worst record in the league, and the expectation you need to sweep them. But they lost the final game of the series, 9-1 against the Rockies. But like even if they're the worst team, like we're talking about Chicago, they're still a professional team, and they still players take pride in what they do, and you can't just write them off and say like, "Oh, we're gonna beat you." Like obviously they didn't want to get swept, and they went out there and proved right. So what else can I say about the Giants?
Hopefully your San Francisco Giants get their footing, because currently they're what you call this? I'm looking at the slugging percentage right now. They're like at 21 out of 30 teams, just slightly below the Jays. So they're like
Well, I
20 and
think
21.
obviously Giants fans, I mean, are not happy with Farhan, and they're asking for him to. He's on his last year of his contract, and a lot of people are like he should be let go already. So, but that could be an overreaction as fans right now. So it's still a young season, but it's definitely this season could go sideways, and I think a lot of fans are mad this week because last year it's the same team as the last 2 years. It's kind of like we have a lot of young players and a lot of. So we were told that this year was going to be different, and so far it's just looking like the last 2 years, and mostly it looks like the last 2 years because of the injuries so far. So the Giants were called up. Ramos. I've talked about Ramos and not making the roster. He's been hitting up in AAA, so he was called up. Especially with the outfield struggles from from Jazz and Austin Slater, struggling. So how long do you keep the players at AAA? When do you call them? So they were called up this week. So Casey Smith was called up because of Nick Ahmed's injury, and then Ramo was called up. And so, but when you see this AAA lineup, a young lineup, I was like, whoa! All of a sudden, we're back to last 2 years with all these young prospects playing, and they're struggling. So it's like, well, how is this any different from last? But I do have to say, like, it's just they're just not in sync right now. Everybody's kind of hitting like hits. some players might be hitting good or having a good season, but they're not hitting as a team right now. And they're the chemistry is not there. That's what's happening with the Giants. The chemistry is not there. Like there's just no skipper, new hitting coach, new third baseman, new first baseman coach, and and a handful of new players. So there's no chemistry right now with the Giants. That's what I could say. But definitely, um, definitely there is growing pains right now, and it's unwatchable, like I said. And yesterday they did win the game, 5-1. Matt Chapman hit a grand slam in the first inning, and I was watching the game and I was like, okay, 4 runs in the first inning, that's great. We should be able to score more runs then because it's the first inning, but on the first, and the game was only fine. The game final was 5-1. They could still not like get going as a team, put in enough runs, right? Like, and it's just like, oh man, like it's kind of like only 1 run after the first inning, so there's a little frustration, right? So he Mason Black, he the second time on the lineup, the Phillies figured him out, and he got lit up. He didn't finish, but like I was kind of he was already over 75 pitches, which young prospects, because that's how much they and the AAA pitchers only go 75 pitches thrown. That's just the standard. Um, you don't see AAA pitchers go 90 pitches, So, but he already reached that, so he's never pitched more than that. It was the bottom of the fourth or bottom of the fifth, and they just kind of like they were letting him go out there. Like it's kind of like no, like it's you're gonna pitch deep because we need you to pitch there. But he got, hopefully it doesn't, his confidence doesn't get reduced just because he got charged with 10 runs in in that game. And but mostly because that road trip, all of our starters did not pass the fourth inning, so the bullpen was overused. So they kind of needed Mason Black to throw as much innings possible, but it came at a cost, and hopefully that doesn't reduce his confidence. So yesterday he started for the Giants. He went 4 innings. He got pulled after Elly De La Cruz hit a home run. So we'll see. Right now, there's no chemistry happening right now with the Giants, and everybody's kind of like confused right now. Kind of like because there's now obviously the hitting is an issue. I've been saying that for the last 3 weeks. The hitting, but right now they're just kind of like there's nothing else you can point. That's the issue. Oh, that's injuries or nothing. You can't point what is the issues right now. It's just there's no chemistry in this lineup and this team.
Yeah, it's sad to see your Giants struggling heavily this start of the season. So we're almost like 2 months in, right? And
Yeah,
hopefully they can get their footing in. But yeah,
and it's also
it's weird.
and it's just also like where there's a lot of players who are just having their arguably the worst season of their career. So Lair's having the worst season of his career. Chapman, I know you talked about it in earlier episodes how he was hot and then he just cooled off. But like right now, he's actually a worse start than the last 2 seasons with the Jays. So there's a lot of teams, a lot of players like Mike Jazz and Austin Slater. There's just a lot of players who are having their worst start of their careers, and it somebody needs to be kind of like somebody needs to break out of the funk, and kind and so the whole team can catch on fire.
Yeah. All right. That's a pretty sad week.
Oh yes, even there's no light in another tunnel at this point, right? So
I can feel your pain from over here.
yeah, so
Oh my
even like
goodness.
yeah, there's no positive, there's no twist right now. Like it's just kind of like they're in a funk and they need to get out, right? So and you can't even say like, oh, you gotta beat up on the bad teams. Like the thing is, the Reds were an 8-game losing streak, and they came in to beat the Giants. So it's like, wow, like
Yeah.
we can't even beat uh the Reds right now. So
Okay. Yeah, I'll make you feel better with my Jays update. All right, all right. For your Blue Jays update this week, after winning the pitcher of the month for April, Jays pitcher Jose Barrios got rocked by the Phillies last Tuesday. Barrios only lasted 3 and 2/3 of an inning, allowing 7 hits, 8 earned runs with 2 walks. I hope this is just a misstep from Jose this week. The Jays this week are 2 out of 4. Big comeback yesterday against the Twins after a 7-1 hole. They managed to beat the Twins 10-8. Great to see Vlad Jr. wake up lately, especially this game as he went 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs. There's still a ton of work to be done as the Jays are sitting dead last in the AL East, 8.5 games back of the Orioles. Like I said, Armando, I'll make you feel better with this Jays update. Uh, There, there were already talks around Twitter Nation about firing the manager, the GM, the trading Bo and Vlad Jr. Their window was supposed to be this year, but the lack of major addition to this team during the offseason showed us otherwise. Again, hopefully this team can keep rolling and have a chance, but not looking good right now. Minor news this week: Jay signed Aaron Sanchez to a minor league deal. Aaron was a major part of the Jays playoffs run in 2015 and 2016, but I don't see him being able to be a difference maker this season. Uh, just trade for Mason Miller and push Romano as a setup guy. Wishful thinking, but we can always dream, right, Armando? We can always dream, and that is it for now for this week for your Blue Jays update.
well, I did see that the big comeback win last yesterday. I was like, when I was watching a little bit of the game and I saw that they were losing already 7-0 or 7-1. I was like, holy cow, it's a second inning, it's already looking rough, right? So I just like, man, like we're just bad luck for the Jays
Yeah.
and, and Giants, right? So, but like but what stands out to me the most of the comeback is actually Guerrero.
Yeah.
Uh, he- 2 hits. He scored a couple runs. So like I looked at his stats and I was like I liked it like, oh, Guerrero scored, and so um maybe that's this is the turnaround for him, right?
Yeah, we were
So
we were talking about Vlad a week ago or so with how he's trying to hit bombs every time, and watching him with the bases loaded 2 outs yesterday, he didn't try too much. He just hit it right at the middle, scored 2 runs, right, to tie the
yeah,
game. I think he did tie the game. Yeah, so great to
yeah,
see
like
him. Yeah,
so
great to see him
yeah,
hit that way.
and I hopefully that's good fortune to come because that's um I like Guerrero. He's fun to watch, but it's sad or just puzzling to see him struggle like the way he is. Uh, but like hopefully this is um, good things to come to
Yeah.
follow.
Hmm.
But like it was good to see him yesterday have the kind of the game that he had. So yeah, so it's good. I'm glad that the Jays are putting some more wins.
We're 8.5 back. I'm not happy with it. We're just
No,
laughing at it, but yeah, we can hug it out by the end of the
but
season
like
with the Giants and
we're
Jays.
in the same struggle. Giants and
Yeah,
Jason same struggle. Like we're both trying to fire our general managers. The fans, right? So so yeah, but we'll see. Hopefully they're able to turn around, or it's just gonna be a long season. And our Jason up Giants up is gonna be very depressing if it, if things don't turn around. And so, but no, it's great. It's it's great to see that the Jays were able to put a game. Especially, I was kind of like when they beat. Well, first I was just like, yeah, like when I text you, like, hey man, don't turn off the TV against the Phillies, right? Like I uh I watched those awful games against the Phillies. You got to do the same. But the following day, the
The
Jays
Jays
came
won.
beat the red hot Phillies. So that was I was glad that they did that. So
Yeah,
it made me
after a 10 win, yeah.
after after the pounding that they put on the Giants.
Yeah. Well, they beat them 10-1, right? Phillies did, like I said. So watching them come back on the second game to just split the series, good to see. But yeah, we're still struggling. The Jays are still struggling. So like your Giants, they're not hitting. Like I'm watching I'm looking at the stats right now. The Giants and the Jays, all statistical categories and hitting, they're at the bottom half of the league, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's not fun, definitely. Hopefully, there's I don't know. It's not going to change right now because the Monday tomorrow the Giants start a series against the Dodgers, so it's not looking pretty. So that's why kind of like teams were saying like you need to beat up on the teams like the Rockies and Reds right now
Yeah.
because then the good teams are coming, and so far they have struggled against the good teams, the Giants. So we'll see.
Well, you never know. You can sweep the Dodgers. You can sweep the Dodgers.
Yep. Anyways,
Not
we'll
much
see.
faith there. Not
We'll
much
see
faith
when
there.
next week. We'll see what have to say next week on the Dodgers series. Anyway, well, thank you for watching. That's another episode of Saturday Sliders. See you next week.